Aaron Canada alongside John Schiffner on the Manager's Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And Schiff, 5+ innings yesterday. Well, about 4.5 innings yesterday, but the fog rolled in and it didn't look good.
No, it was, I feel bad because about 45 minutes after everybody left, it was, clear enough to play, which is really unfortunate. And, the umpires and Coach Myers and I were all talking, and, you can always look on the radar and see if there's rain coming. You can kind of figure out, and we've done that in the past. We've actually, told umpires, hey, a shower's coming, let's get this thing covered up. And, you can't do that with fog. You just don't know, what to do with fog. And there's been times where it gets worse and worse, and you can't even see your outfielder. Like last night was, it was shaky, and the umpires, I think, made the right decision at the moment. And we waited almost an hour, and, well, unfortunately it cleared out on us, which, you hate like heck to lose a day off, but good things out of it. Buck Farmer threw great. Wow, he's thrown well.
Take me through that decision, the conversation between you and the opposing manager and the entire umpiring staff while the fog delay is going on. What obviously they come to you for the experience with the fog, but right. What else goes on? Well,
we were actually looking at my bullpen and their creativity. We thought that was quite comical. That was part of the conversation going on. And then it's just, okay, my year's experience have told me that I really don't think this fog is probably going to lift. And I said, usually if you get a wind change, it might lift, or it might be moving it along where you'll be able to play. And there was no wind to speak of at that point. I said there have been times, and some fisherman out there is going to have to tell me, because there's stuff about fishing I don't have down yet. The fog sometimes is also directly correlated to the incoming and outgoing tide. And if that is in fact true, I believe that's what happened last night. The tide started to go out, and it took the fog with it. I'd like to see that, climatology, and talk to someone who can really show me that, because I've never seen that. I've seen fog change on a wind shift, and that's what we're talking about. We're discussing, and then we're talking about making stories. Coach, tell us some fog stories. And we're telling about the old days when we used to put 2 center fielders out in center field and 2 assistant coaches hit fungos. Well, that's a disaster, because the 2 center fielders are fighting one another, because the team that's ahead is trying like hell to catch the ball, so the team that's ahead is trying to miss the ball, so that the umpires are going to call the game at that point, so not to play any longer. And the team that's behind is trying like heck to find the ball, and that was a fiasco. And then the problem is that there's the umpiring crew we had last night. That was their first fog game. They'd really never seen one before. They're from Virginia. And that was completely different than if we had a New England crew that had been here before. They might have said, well, maybe we can go a little bit longer, let's see, or, who knows, and that's what we were talking about, just basically telling stories. And then we'd watch the fog come in a little bit, and the umpires were just about ready to tell us to go out there. And then a big bank would billow in, and he'd go, oh, no, I'm not going to send you out there now. And then Tom and I would say, okay, Tom, how many more minutes before we're shutting down that starting pitcher, and we have to get another guy warmed up? And then that's another 20 minutes, and, because they get unlimited warm-ups in that situation. So, that's the stuff you discuss at that point, and you tell dirty jokes and things like that.
How much farther into that outing could Buck potentially have gone? He was pitching pretty well.
Well, at the time that we shut him down, it was over. We decided we were going to make a decision at 8:30, and Burns said, that Buck was done. I mean, we were not going to rewarm him up at that point. He'd been down for almost 45 minutes, so Buck was out. I think if we had restarted 8:15, we might have been okay, but 8:30, Scott just said, no, I don't want him going out there and rewarming up. That was it. So we were ready to go with another pitcher, as was Coach Myers.
But if the fog had not rolled in and there had been no delay whatsoever.
Oh, we roll him out there. Go get him, Buck. We are on a 100 pitch count pretty much, unless somebody rolls in the middle of an inning and he goes over 100. But we're, I've changed over the years. Obviously since I've been in the league, we've gone from a 4-man rotation to a 5-man rotation. Now we're in a 6-man rotation. So with the added days off for the starting pitchers, we've increased the number of pitches. If somebody's dealing, we won't be hard-pressed to say, okay, you can go to 110, but absolutely after 110, he's coming out. There's no way. And I really, anytime we start getting above 90, we're looking very cautiously at him, and I think the college coaches appreciate that.
Tomorrow, all the players are headed up to Fenway for another workout in Boston in front of the scouts. How excited are the guys?
Oh, the guys are really excited. I mean, you get on a major league field, and you're hoping maybe there's some Red Sox that are hanging around or rehabbing, so you can meet some big leaguers. And it's Fenway Park. It is Fenway Park. It's one of the last true old-time parks. Fenway and Wrigley to me are the last two, and that's a special thing for these kids, because that's their grandparents' generation, and their parents' generation. Those fields have been around. Fenway, I think, is 1912. Wrigley before that. So, that's pretty special to be able to say I was on that field, because at some point I think Fenway will go away. Oh God, I'm sorry, Red Sox Nation, but at some point I think Red Sox are going to have to make a move in the near future. In some ways I hope not, but I think they will have to. So these kids are going to be able to tell their kids, I played on that field that you read about. So that's pretty cool.
The Falmouth Commodores coming in tonight. You've seen them twice already in the scheduled doubleheader earlier in the season. What kind of game do you expect tonight?
I really don't know, because I haven't really checked to see how much their roster has changed. So I know they're going to be well coached. Jeff does a great job. He's one of the best. Jeff just is a great players manager. And I'm sure that the kids they love playing for him. So I expect a good ball game. They got one of the lefties that pitched against us in the first doubleheader is starting tonight's game, and I believe we only got 3 runs in that whole doubleheader. So we got to bring our bats to the game tonight.
He's John Schiffner. I'm Aaron Canada. It's the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.